Now Kerala is on the edge as Sabarimala temple reopens today after the Supreme Court verdict allowing entry of all women. 11 protesters have been arrested from Nilakal and Pamba who were trying to stop the devotees. More confrontation and clashes are expected as hundreds of protesters have taken to streets calling the court ruling against their traditional beliefs. Situation remains tense in Nilakal where protesters have been checking all vehicles to prevent women from entering the temple. The first batch of devotees will be leaving from the base camp at 11:30 a.m. towards Sabarimala, which is expected to reach Pamba by 12:30. In fact, a heavy police deployment has been made by the government to ensure entry of women into the temple. Chief Minister Vigilante has warned protesters against taking law in their hand.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट का वर्डिक्ट आने के बाद आज शबरीमाला के द्वार जो है वो सभी एज की महिलाओं को खुले होने वाले हैं और इसका जो है वो स्वागत सभी ने करना चाहिए। लेकिन आप अगर वहाँ की सिचुएशन देखेंगे तो वायलेंस है, जो विरोध हो रहा है वो गलत तरीके से हो रहा है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट का वर्डिक्ट अभी महिलाओं के बाजू से है, सरकार महिलाओं को प्रोटेक्शन दे रही है, तो जल्द से जल्द जब महिलाओं का ग्रुप वहाँ पे आएगा तब लोगों ने विरोध करना चाहिए, लेकिन वो विरोध जो है वो शांततापूर्ण होना चाहिए। केरल में कोई भी वायलेंस ना हो, ऐसी जो है वो हमारी अपील रहेगी।
Our focus is very pointed. It's a two-handed approach. On one hand, we have filed a review petition. We are hoping that Honorable Supreme Court will show us benevolence. On the second hand, we are going at it with a Jallikattu model Gandhian protest, where hundreds and thousands of people will be lying down on the road. And we are requesting, if you want to intrude into Sabarimala, if you want to defile and attack our faith, you have to step on our chest and do it. Please remember, this is not a provocation. This is a humble cry and plea for respecting our sensitivities.
This is a democratic society. Everybody has a right. Their right will be protected. That's what I have to say as a police officer. Yeah. The women who want to visit the shrine, as a court direction is very clear. Court direction is very clear.
Now, Chief Minister Vigilante on Tuesday warned the protesters to not to obstruct the yatra and assured security for all devotees.
ഇന്ന് രാവിലെ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു സംഭവം നടന്നു എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. അത് സാധാരണഗതിയിൽ ആരെയും നിയമം കയ്യിലെടുക്കാൻ അനുവദിക്കില്ല. ആർക്കും പരിശോധിക്കാനും ഇതിന്റെ അകത്ത് ആരാ യാത്ര ചെയ്യുന്നതെന്ന് പരിശോധിക്കാനൊന്നുള്ള അവകാശമില്ല. അങ്ങനെ വന്നാൽ അതിൽ ശക്തമായ ഇടപെടലുണ്ടാവും. വിശ്വാസികൾക്ക് എപ്പോഴും അവരുടെ വിശ്വാസത്തിനനുസരിച്ച് കാര്യങ്ങൾ നടത്താനുള്ള സൗകര്യങ്ങൾ സർക്കാർ ഒരുക്കാറുണ്ട്. കാരണം നേരത്തെ തന്നെ സർക്കാർ സുപ്രീം കോടതിയിൽ വ്യക്തമാക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ട്, ഞങ്ങള് എന്താണോ സുപ്രീം കോടതി പുറപ്പെടുവിക്കുന്ന വിധി ആ വിധി നടപ്പാക്കാൻ സന്നദ്ധമാണ്.
The Chief Minister standing there as far as the law and order situation in the state is concerned. Now, police force has been deployed to ensure law and order before opening the Sabarimala shrine. Shalini Lobo, my colleague, sends us this report from Nilakal.
We're right now in Nilakal, and yesterday this was where drama unfolded. This was where the protesters were sitting. There was a camp over here, there were chairs over here, people were protesting over here, and this is the exact same place where cars were being blocked by protesters and no one was allowed to go past. Women were not allowed to go beyond this particular point. But today the situation has changed. The police has got the protesters to leave. They've taken off the camp that they made, taken off the chairs, and you can see massive police deployment in this area. 500 police personnel over here in Nilakal and 500 as you go towards Sabarimala is what the police have deployed over here, and they're ensuring, they're saying law and order will be maintained. No protester will be able to take law into their own hands. And since yesterday 11 arrests have been made, 8 yesterday, 3 today, and this for all those who stop those vehicles, check vehicles and cause ruckus here in the middle of the road, heckling people, getting them out of vans. Today there's no such checking. The police is ensuring that whoever wants to go will go as they have the right to go, and law and order is maintained. Orders given to them straight from the Chief Minister's office. With video journalist Divyan, Shalini Lobo, Nilakal, India Today.
Now, yesterday, as Shalini was telling you, just a day before the shrine opened, I mean, today is the day when it will open, the protests escalated against the Supreme Court verdict, allowing women to enter the Sabarimala shrine. A group of protesters were in fact scanning vehicles to stop women from entering the temple town, and they call it the Gandhian way to protest.
cars being scanned for women. Buses being stopped and screened. And all of this is being done by a group of vigilantes in the name of preserving the culture of Sabarimala. Despite the Supreme Court allowing the entry of women of all ages, these groups have decided to become self-styled enforcers of culture, and the police can do little but watch despite the Chief Minister's assurances.
Kids are getting heckled.
Assurances for the people. No,
I cannot give you a time frame right now, madam.
So people are getting heckled on the ground.
Sir, people are being heckled right in your presence. It's happening,
We
sir.
are also working, madam. Please understand.
I agree, but
Please allow us to work,
people,
madam.
sir, we were heckled. We are victims of heckle. So the devotees are still stopping trucks over here. Who has given them the permission to look into buses?
Buses, sir,
Who has given them permission to block press
sir.
cars? Pamba is open to all of us. That's unfair to us, to our job and to all the other people. This contempt of court.
ഇന്ന് രാവിലെ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു സംഭവം നടന്നു എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. അത് സാധാരണഗതിയിൽ ആരെയും നിയമം കയ്യിലെടുക്കാൻ അനുവദിക്കില്ല. ആർക്കും പരിശോധിക്കാനും ഇതിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് ആരാ യാത്ര ചെയ്യുന്നതെന്ന് പരിശോധിക്കാനൊന്നുള്ള അവകാശമില്ല. അങ്ങനെ വന്നാൽ അതിൽ ശക്തമായ ഇടപെടലുണ്ടാവും. വിശ്വാസികൾക്ക് എപ്പോഴും അവരുടെ വിശ്വാസത്തിനനുസരിച്ച് കാര്യങ്ങൾ നടത്താനുള്ള സൗകര്യങ്ങൾ സർക്കാർ ഒരുക്കാറുണ്ട്. കാരണം നേരത്തെ തന്നെ സർക്കാർ സുപ്രീം കോടതിയിൽ വ്യക്തമാക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ട്, ഞങ്ങൾ എന്താണോ സുപ്രീം കോടതി പുറപ്പെടുവിക്കുന്ന വിധി, ആ വിധി നടപ്പാക്കാൻ സന്നദ്ധമാണ്.
Meanwhile, after the Travancore Temple Trust Board meeting, the Pandalam royal family urged the Devasam board to file a review petition and demanded that status quo be maintained till then. But till that happens, can behavior like this be acceptable? If the matter is already sub judice, why this extra constitutional justice? With Shalini Loba and Nagarjun Dwarkanath, Bureau Report, India Today.
Is this what a peaceful Gandhian protest looks like? Is this how we are supposed to, know about this whole Gandhian protest that Rahul Eshwar and the other activists were talking about? Let's just put things in context and let's just put them in purview of these few big questions that we want to raise today on the burning question, because it is very important. It is very important that people do understand what is in fact happening as far as the Sabarimala shrine is concerned. Yes, there is tradition. Nobody is saying that you should not believe in your traditional rights, but can that fight be against the law of the land? Can it be against the top court of the country? And can people be vigilantes in order to enforce their beliefs? Question number one that we are putting out today in the morning, and because today, of course, remember, the shrine is going to open. Can women safely enter the Sabarimala today? Why is it that this choice can't be left to the women? If they don't want to go, it's their choice. But if even one woman wants to go, how are these thousands of people being allowed to stop her? Number two that we put out, in fact, this morning, will the law prevail over religion, over tradition? Which part of the country, or by what law will the country be governed? Traditional beliefs, archaic laws, or the constitution and the law laid down by the Supreme Court? Question number three that we are putting out this morning, vote bank politics to trump law of the land. Isn't BJP and the Congress, all these political parties are only trying to use this for a firmer hold as far as the politics of Kerala is concerned? Question number four that we are putting out today in the morning, are protesters disrespecting the Supreme Court verdict? And this is a very important verdict. You can't just come out and say, oh, we'll lie down, walk over us. All of us are governed by the rule of the law. Isn't this contempt of the court? And question number five that we are putting out this morning, culture about women's right to equality. Can the right to equality be conditional? When it comes to triple talaq, the BJP will have something else to say. When it comes to women's right of entering this shrine, then they bring out their religious beliefs as far as this entire debate is concerned. Gopi Krishnan Onithan, my colleague, now joins me from Pamba. Shalini Lobo is in Nilakal. Both of them have been continuously at it. We've been reporting since the last couple of days. Gopi, I'm going to come to you first because early in the morning today also, when I was having a chat with our team of producers, we were told that Shalini is not even being allowed to stand where you are standing in Pamba. What's the situation there today?
Well, Ankit, the situation has changed in the matter of last 12 hours, because till yesterday evening, not even women journalists were allowed to cross Nilakala and come over to Pamba, which is only the base camp to Sabarimala temple, because till the day before yesterday, all these women journalists could access could come here and do their reporting. But yesterday they were restricted by a group of people who self-proclaims to be devotees. And today in the early hours at around 5:34, even before the media and other people started gathering in Nilakal, police had actually carried out a lightning action, I must say, because that is what we have been told by the police forces, because immediately they just managed to bring in 500 people, 500 police personnel out of nowhere, and they just cleared the whole area. The Nilakal is now completely clear. There is no issue whatsoever that is happening in Nilakal, because no vehicles are being stopped by the devotees or the protesters. The police have taken complete control of Nilakal is what we have been told, and we are expecting that our colleagues who are actually women journalists will also be able to access Pamba very shortly, because some of our reporters are already started from Nilakal towards Pamba. So situation has changed drastically over the last 12 hours, and also more importantly, the temple will be opening today for the first time after the Supreme Court verdict, and the pilgrims have also started gathering here. I am right now in Pamba, and I will just show you in a bit, because these are actually the pilgrims who have come here, and they are taking their traditional holy dip in the Pamba river, and after this they will proceed their journey towards the temple shrine uphill deep inside the Periyar Reserve Forest.
All right, in fact, stay on with me, Gopi. Let me bring in Shalini as well. Shalini, dramatic visuals you brought us yesterday. From policemen, those who were absolutely silent, standing there as mute spectators, to the bus in which you were, in fact, targeted by these women, those who were protesting there. Has the situation changed? And if any woman who dares to today walk towards the shrine, can the government ensure her safety?
Well, Ankit, as Gopi mentioned, it was completely a blitzkrieg action that the police took out in the morning. Around 6 o'clock, they deployed 1,000 policemen in the area, 500 at Nilakal, 500 at Pamba en route Sabarimala, and they just chased all the protesters out at Nilakal. Every single one of them were chased out by the police. The camp that they put up, that they had for the past 10 days, the entire tin shed completely removed, the chairs completely removed, and massive police force, around 500 police personnel kept there without even one person can walk in saying that they are a devotee and they're not going to let women. But yesterday, the whole day, the police were mute spectators to the fact that these people were blocking cars and buses, entering cars and buses, pulling out people. The police did not know what to do at that point of time, and that was when the Travancore board talks were going on. They were called the key stakeholders, and they were trying to talk something out and figure a way out. So the police was clueless, and they were mute to what was happening, because clearly they did not get the necessary instructions. Yesterday there was a meeting in the evening, post which the police came out, decided that they would not let this happen, because they were becoming a joke to the media, to the public. The law and order situation in Kerala, especially in this particular area, was becoming nothing short of a joke, where you have police just watching people enter buses and pull students out, pull reporters out, pull any woman traveling in the bus. But today there's a difference, and the police has ensured that if a woman dares to walk in today, she will be safe and her safety will be put in place. There are few protesters at Pamba, and what we're hearing is the protests to take place there shortly. But now it's very convenient for protesters. Ankit, one thing I want to add, that
all right, Shalini, there is a slight audio glitch that we are experiencing right now. Something has gone wrong and we cannot hear what you're saying. We will come back to you for more details on this. Now, let me also very quickly introduce our guest as well. And remember, today the story is on the ground. So we'll keep going back to my colleagues, those who are joining us from, in fact, the Sabarimala Shrine. Joining us right now is Ila Samsak. She is a social activist. We are also being joined by Pandit Ajay Gautam, founder humhindu.com. Dinesh Vasne, leader of the CPI, is also joining us. We'll be going very shortly going across to Thomas Isaac, the finance minister of Kerala, because one thing that is very, very clear, and Ila, I want you to come in on this, that unlike other states, one thing that the big difference in Kerala at least is that the Chief Minister has ensured, despite the opposition parties playing to the gallery when it comes to politics in the state is concerned, that no matter what happens, rule of the law is supreme, and that is exactly what is going to happen when it comes to the Sabarimala controversy as well.
That's right. It's heartening to see that, because we're seeing that the Supreme Court and the government, this Chief Minister, is taking the side of equality and women's rights. But it's really unfortunate that the opposition has decided to use this as a sort of weapon. And it's unfortunate that people are actually getting out on the streets to uphold a tradition which apparently dates back not more than 50 years. So it's not actually traditionally or historically proven that women were supposed to be banned from entering the temple. And the main issue here is celibacy, and the idea of celibacy for these individuals who are banning women from coming is that any fertile female in their vicinity, in their view, is open prey. So I think this is the main problem, that why are men behaving like animals, like certain men behaving like animals, and why is the understanding of celibacy so extremely crude that if you have someone of the opposite sex around you, that you're just going to jump on them basically. So that's where our rape culture comes from, doesn't it? So I think that they've exposed themselves in a way, so it's really sad.
Absolutely, and that is a good question to put across to Pandit Ajay Gautam, who is sitting here in the studio with me. Mr. Gautam, you know what, the point that Hila was making, that can God be considered so weak that if he is a celibate God and there is a woman between the age of 10 to 50, a fertile woman who goes around, and the God will be swayed in his celibatic vow? Isn't that a very isn't that demeaning to the deity, to the God as well, that men compare themselves and possibly their weakness with the God as well?
Sir, issue is that this is not an issue about the gender equality. This is the issue of the anarchy. The honorable courts are satisfying their ego by passing this kind of order. How I manage my religious affair? How can I manage my temple? How can I do the worship? How can I manage the puja, parshad, ghanta, bhog, gadial? This is not a duty of our honorable courts. They will teach us that this is the duty of our religious seats. This is the duty of our Shankaracharya, our Mathadish. They will follow our tradition. This is for the tradition which become a culture because it has been following by the centuries.
Pandit Ajay Gautam,
allow me to complete,
hold on. Two things I want to put very straight. A, whatever views he is expressing as far as Supreme Court is concerned, India Today doesn't endorse those views. It is his views. If it is contempt, it is contempt on Mr. Ajay Gautam.
I am not afraid, sir.
Sir, you might not be. I just need to put this out for the benefit of my viewers.
I do not
the other thing that I
any
want
contempt, sir. I candidly say.
Mr. Gautam, sir, we are not playing Rambo here, so it's not about who is afraid of.
Sir, I am not saying. I am saying you make a declaration, so I am clearing my position.
I have done that. You don't need to come back and counter that on that. You can say whatever you want. I just need to ensure that your views are not reflected.
This is my view, and I am ready to face any contempt issue by the court.
The other part that I want to ask you, sir, is do you know the country that you live in, sir?
Yes, I know.
Do you know that this country became a republic in 1950?
Yes, I know.
And do you understand what happens in a country which becomes a republic? There is a rule of the law.
Rule of the law.
Which constitution?
I am talking. Yes, sir.
Rule of the law.
Sir, I bring two small issues. One is a judgment passed by the Honorable Supreme Court, Hurrah versus Hurrah, where they give the option of the curative bench after the passing the order in the review petition. What the Honorable Court said? The court said that we are also the human being, that we are judges. That means absolutely not that we cannot make the mistake and we cannot pass the wrong order.
That option is open. No, that option is open. Go file a review petition. The point here, sir, is that go file a review petition rather than stopping.
Sir, you know there is a judgment. You know, sir, there is a judgment, Lalita Kumari versus the state of Uttar Pradesh, and other passed by the five judges bench of Supreme Court. And every policeman of this country does violation of this judgment at every day, at every moment.
File a petition in the court.
File the petition.
File a petition in the court. Don't tell me all these things, sir. You have the, like like any other citizen in this country,
Sir,
you also have the right to go to the court, but you do not have any right. You do not have any right to stop people forcibly.
We have 20 lakh religious institutions, Dwadash Jyotirling, 51 Jyotish, 51 Shakti. Tell me the name of the one institution where the entry of the humans are restricted. Tell me the one institution.
So why should it be restricted in this as well?
I give you the name of the 5 temples.
Why should it be restricted in this as well?
What about the right? What about the right of the DT? What of the fundamental right of the DT? What of the right to privacy of the DT?
And are you telling me like you or any other man that deity is so weak that a woman who is fertile goes around the deity celibatic vows will go through?
Sir, you are talking about your civil right. I am advocacy about the legal and social and fundamental right of the deity. And you are trespassing by using your civil right, and you forgive about the right of the deity.
Sir, all these arguments, in fact, temples where today it is open to the devotees. Remember the ruckus that we saw yesterday in Nilakal on the way to Pamba as well, where the devotees in fact stopped, checked vehicles. Dinesh Vashne is with me. He's from the CPI. Mr. Vashne, while the Chief Minister of Kerala should in fact be praised for the fact that he, in short, he stuck his neck out, saying that the law of the land is supreme, and this is exactly what I'm going to adhere to. The fact remains, sir, the government is being accused of not doing enough to try on an issue which is such a volatile issue, where sentiments, in fact, of the people are attached. There are thousands of protesters on the street. The government didn't do enough to, in fact, try and build some sort of a consensus to find a middle path.
Look, we tried our level best that let these misguided people by the BJP, RSS and Vishnu Parishad come to the table. They have refused to come to the table. We also tried that those who are stopping buses and others, they should be told that please behave yourself. This is as per the Supreme Court judgment, and as for gender equality. They did not listen to us. Henceforth, yesterday night onwards, we have revamped the securities, and everybody will be allowed to go to Sabarimala temple, Ayappa temple, and nobody has a right to that. On the name of the God, they go for against the right of women equality, go for protection of the institution of patriarchy and feudalistic values. It cannot be allowed. Reforms has to take place, whether by law or by the judgment. I don't understand. Is the BJP or Ajay Gautam ji are standing with the MJ Akbar? This is what the same thing happened. Kuldeep Sengar. What are they doing?
Digressing from what?
They do not want any reform which brings the gender equality. There are various and I don't understand one thing. How can we violate the Supreme Court judgment? The government of Kerala is duty bound to obey to the orders of the Supreme Court.
Okay.
This is what the BHP and BJP and Vishnu Parishad and Bajrang Dal is trying to do, so that they can play a similar model if the judgment come against them in the land title Ram Janmabhoomi. They are playing a model here.
We are equating two very different things. I mean, we are going on a very different tangent at this. I just want to keep the focus on Sabarimala. And before we are being joined now by Thomas Isaacs, Finance Minister of Kerala. And before I go to him, Ila, I want a very quick comment from you. When it comes to the political parties and the way we have seen in this entire Sabarimala debate being played out, it just seems that in Delhi they say something else and in Kerala they play out something else. It seems that right to equality for women, at least for them, is quite conditional, and it depends on cases to cases, state to state, majorly on how they see the vote bank of that state going.
Absolutely, it's extremely distressing, but it seems, first of all, it's horrible that the parties would indulge in this sort of double standards. But the other thing is that it actually seems to be able to gather quite a lot of support from people who would like to ban women from entering the temple. But I think that our country really won't really progress, and I think the world is watching, and it's really sad that people in India are still swayed by these sort of politics, and the saddest part is that this is not even historical. This is about 50 years ago that 50 or 60 years ago that women were banned to go into this temple. So are we so lazy, are we so ignorant, are we so insensitive, are we so apathetic that we don't even bother that this is actually this is not just about Sabarimala. This is about women's rights in India. Everyone should understand this. This is not about Sabarimala. This is about giving equal rights to women and giving them the respect. So it's very sad that our country is so torn apart by this very fundamental human right that is being
one hand the ladyship
touted actually.
The ladyship on one hand you are talking about the right of equality. On another hand you have the Ministry of the Human Welfare. You have a commission. You have a reservation from metro train to the panchayat election. What kind of equality you are talking about?
I am astonished by the argument that you have made.
Maybe,
it has been,
maybe because I am exposing this plot argument, the right to equality.
It has been for generations, patriarch, for generations,
Mr. Tyagi, Navratri has been
Mr. Gautam, for generations, people with patriarchal mindset like you have not only imposed your will on women, but also on other sections, and when it is exposed, when the government tries to in fact bring them to a similar level, it's a stupid kind of argument to make, sir.
Maybe. But I am taking what you are talking. This is a completely stupidity.
You are absolutely well within your rights to say all these things. I don't need to expose you people who are watching. They exactly are seeing the kind of frivolous arguments that you're making. All right, gentlemen. I need a minute because I need to go straight away. Mr. Varshney, I'm going to come to you. I need to go straight away to Thomas Isaac, Finance Minister of Kerala, who's joining us live at this point of time. Mr. Isaac, thank you so much for joining us at this point of time. Sir, what is happening in Kerala? And because till yesterday at least, the protesters were openly blocking the way to Sabarimala. At least now there is some police action. Can you today ensure that every woman, any woman, if she desires to go to the shrine, her safety is guaranteed?
Kerala government in the approach to the Supreme Court, we are very faithfully implementing. In fact, this is third left government that is in power since the 1991, when the High Court banned the entry of young women between age of 10 and 50 to Sabarimala. But some people connected to RSS, they went to Supreme Court, others joined in, and we gave an affidavit in the Supreme Court which stated government position. One, we are against any discrimination against women. Two, that's our position. There are beliefs of people are involved, faith is involved. Therefore, court may appoint a committee of scholars and religious people to discuss the various aspects of this matter and suggest an appropriate action. Three, but whatever be the decision of Supreme Court, we will faithfully implement it, just as we have been implementing the High Court decision. Now Supreme Court has given a verdict, and Kerala government is duty bound to implement that. And therefore, if there is any woman who wants to visit Sabarimala, state will make the arrangements.
Mr. Isaac, you heard, especially like protesters, those who have been, in fact, at this point of time, those who have been protesting, people like Rahul Eshwar, they have been saying that we are going to ensure that we, in fact, lay down on the path towards Sabarimala, and people will have to step on us if they want to go. How are you going to handle this situation?
Well, that situation come, then we will handle it then. I think that's the best way to answer it than anticipate what is going to happen. But I think Kerala has been by and large very law abiding, and therefore this is the law of the land. The Supreme Court has given the verdict, and the people who are inciting the faith, the believers to come and protest in this manner are the same people who at national level has stood for entry of women to Sabarimala and other temples in India. Now similar verdict is there in the Shani temple in Maharashtra. That has been implemented by the same Supreme Court. So whatever that is happening in Kerala is a political game hatched by BJP, keeping in mind the coming loss of election.
So very quickly, I just want to ask you one more question before I let you go. The BJP has given, yesterday in fact, they gave a 24-hour ultimatum for the government to resolve this issue. How do you see and what can the government do? Because there seems to be a lot of politics being mixed in this entire matter.
Well, we don't succumb to such threats. This is a country where rule of law is the, whatever is happening in the states ruled by BJP in Kerala, we will uphold the law. I have no doubt about it.
Sabarimala Shrine opens today, and this is the first time that the shrine and temple will open, in fact, after the Supreme Court verdict allowing women between the age of 10 to 15, those who were excluded so far from entry to the Lord Ayappa temple, that they will be allowed from today. But there has been so much protest, so much being spoken about this, the whole debate of equality versus traditional religious beliefs. And one woman, so far at least, has openly come out and spoken about the fact that she is ready and she wants to visit the Lord Ayappa temple. She is Reshma Nishant, who has been for the last 40 days going through the whole ritual of celibacy and everything that a man who is also supposed, if he wants to visit the Sabarimala Shrine, he also has to go through certain rituals. She is observing these rituals. Reshma Nishant spoke exclusively to my colleague Padmada Joshi yesterday. Listen it.
The effort by a group of people in Kerala to try and tacitly threaten and browbeat people, women who only want to worship Lord Ayappa. Reshma is one of those women who has now been authorized by the court to go ahead, go into Sabarimala irrespective of their age and worship Lord Ayappa. Reshma is currently facing threats. She joins us live now. Reshma, let me start by asking you, what is the motivation? Why did you decide to go to Sabarimala?
Years back, I started Vrata, that is Mandala Vrata, years back. By that time, I strongly know that I cannot go to Sabarimala temple. Still, I take fasting for all these things. And now we have a Supreme Court verdict that women can also visit Sabarimala temple. And our government is providing all the security to those ladies which are ready to visit Sabarimala. So I have strong belief in our constitution and also in our government.
But
so
there are
that I decided to go to Sabarimala.
But Reshma, there are also many women devotees who are out on the streets accusing you and people like you of indulging in a stunt because they think that real devotees will not insult Lord Ayappa because he is a Naishtik Brahmachari.
That's not the truth actually. When we are looking back, that is, there are many evidences that women were used to go Sabarimala temple at the still 1991 itself. That is, Tiruvitanku Maharani used to visit Sabarimala temple. By that time, nothing happened. Hello? Hello?
Yes, go on. We can hear you.
By that time, nothing happened. Then why they are saying that this brahmacharya of Ayappa will lose by the visiting of ladies by this time?
Okay.
That's not the truth actually. I don't believe like that.
Reshma, are you scared? Are you scared? Because, we have these images of how cars are being stopped, buses are being stopped, women are being screened from these vehicles. Do you feel scared now?
I have the full strong belief in my constitution and also for my government. I believe that the government will protect not me, for all those ladies who is ready to visit Sabarimala. I'm not scared actually.
And this is exactly what this entire judgment is all about. Ida, I want to come to you, very quickly, that it is a matter of choice. If this woman decides that she wants to go, at least the government of Kerala, and as the minister also told us earlier, Mr. Vashne, that the government will ensure her safety. It is not about whether all the women want to go there, but even if one wants to go, there should be the choice left to the women. rather than men, those who want to decide how a woman should behave.
Absolutely. Exactly. Yes, of course. First of all, I think it's brilliant in a way that the government and the Chief Minister are supporting it. But at the same time, it's extremely sad that in 2018, we still have issues like this in our country. And I think that because of this, I'm worried that this might snowball and create further problems for other places.
Right.
The whole understanding of celibacy has to be questioned, and I think the whole understanding of what a sadhu and sant is has to be understood, because this is not what a sadhu or a sant is.
Right.
This is not what celibacy is.
Right. Mr. Varshney, I want to give you a very quick last word, because the fact remains, sir, now this is a great responsibility on the shoulders of the government of Kerala is also concerned. Everybody is watching it. Your minister also assured that the women will be protected. Reshma may be scared, but she has put all her faith in you. Can you once again reassure the people of this country that the choice and the rule of the law will be upheld, will be implemented? If even a single woman wants to go there, you will ensure that her safety is paramount.
We assure on behalf of the left front government in Kerala that every woman who wish to go to Sabarimala, whichever the age group they belong, will be allowed. They don't need to fear from those obscurantists and patriarchists to be afraid of. We will protect them. We will protect till the end. The land of the law will prevail. The Honorable Supreme Court verdict will be applied in total.
Right.
Nobody will be allowed to break the law or take the law into the hands.
All right. There is, of course, the aspect of people's beliefs as well. There needs to be it should have been largely a debate among the people to come to a consensus. But as of now, as I keep saying, that till the time the law says anything else, there can't be people enforcing their beliefs and their thoughts, their traditions on others. That at least should be guaranteed to every citizen of this country. Quick break at this moment. This is going to be our top focus on the other side of the break at 10 o'clock as well. I'll be back with the headlines. You can also log on to our website, indiatoday.in, and download the India Today app for all the latest coming in from Kerala and across the globe.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.